Welcome back to Unapologetically Progressive. Now, we're going to talk about that looming shutdown. The shutdown is scheduled to start on Friday at midnight unless a bill is passed and sent to the president to avert it. Now, why are we in this situation? Why didn't I cover it earlier in the week? Well, earlier this week, we had a bipartisan bill. We had a bipartisan bill out of a Congress that hasn't worked together at all in over a decade. But it was a bipartisan bill that we rarely see. It funded the government at current levels, and yeah, it had some extra stuff in it. So let's talk about some of the extra stuff that was in that bill. The one that I didn't agree with was a cost of living increase of roughly 3.8% for congressmen and women. That I didn't agree with. I didn't think that's necessary. I think they already are overpaid to begin with. They tell us that we just need to stop eating out or pull ourselves up by our bootstraps. They can do the same thing. They don't need any extra money. But that aside, the bill provided extra funds for programs within Medicare to fight the opioid epidemic. That's what that was for. There was I believe $100 million for disaster relief to help the people that were ravaged by Helene and Milton. The states that were affected by that are still dealing with that, especially the people up in North Carolina. And that's what this was supposed to do, right? There's some other frivolous things in there that really weren't really necessary, but they didn't really add any cost to the bill hardly. Something about allowing the city or the District of Columbia, Washington D.C., to be able to renegotiate for the Washington Commanders football team to come back to Washington D.C. where they had been in the past. Um, so it's just some local stuff to deal with, and they're in D.C. And so it didn't make any sense for this bill to be shut down. We should have been looking at a continuing resolution that kept the government funded. Instead, Donald Trump contacted Congress and said, hey, kill the bill. So the Republicans in the House did exactly what Daddy Trump told them to do, and they kissed his ass. That's what they did. And it doesn't make sense. Except that Trump doesn't want Biden to have any success on anything. Because one of the other bipartisan bills, Trump killed too, which was the bipartisan border bill. He called people in Congress and said, kill it. And so they did. If that seems a bit stupid to you, we're in the same boat because it doesn't make any sense to me either. Elon Musk threatened every Republican in Congress, every single Republican in Congress, that if they passed any bill to continue funding the government, that he would fund the primaries against them. Is that not a problem? These people shouldn't be bowing to the wills of a $400 billion billionaire. They should be taking care of their people. Their people are more important than any billionaire. But no, they don't care. The last Trump, the last Trump shutdown, the last Trump shutdown lasted 35 days. If it had lasted much longer, people would have stopped getting certain services taken care of, like Social Security, Medicare, Medicaid. Luckily, that one ended. Hopefully, this one doesn't last 35 days. But at least at this current juncture, if the government does shut down, here's some good news. If you're on Social Security, SSI, SSDI, you'll still get your check. Right? Things like Medicare and Medicaid funding will still be operational for the time being. Food stamps should still function. but it won't help those 100,000 plus federal employees. It won't help them one bit. Now they'll get back pay for those essential workers that are forced to go to work and not be paid. They'll get back pay once the dust settles and they finally pass a budget. But that doesn't help them now. Right here at Christmas, right here at the holidays, two of the biggest holidays of the year in America, Christmas and New Year's. I don't understand it. It's cruel. It's not right. It's definitely un-American. But anyways, that's what's going on right now in American politics. Anyways, thank you for watching.